As I was 14 years old, actually the age of my daughter, and I was left literally at boarding school in Switzerland, a very fancy boarding school. Nobody came to pick me up. I really did not know what I was going to do. And a friend of mine, a classmate, had me join her and her family while I tried desperately to get a hold of my parents, either one of them.
Shirley MacLaine's career is nothing short of extraordinary. From acting to dancing, singing to activism, she has conquered it all and then some. But amid her dazzling achievements, her choices as a mother have sparked one of the most infamous rivalries in Hollywood history. Her neglect of her daughter, Sachiko Parker, led to a betrayal so deep it shattered their relationship. Do you know why MacLaine was once labeled Hollywood's worst mother? With a career spanning over 8 decades, MacLaine's journey is filled with both struggles and triumphs. She has lived unapologetically, making waves with her eccentricities and controversial statements, which continue to capture headlines. Her remarkable career may have left a lasting mark, but not all of her colleagues were fans. Some of her co-stars found her difficult to work with, and you might be surprised by who they were. Stay tuned to uncover the shocking truth. Make sure to watch the video till the end. Shirley MacLaine Beatty was born in 1934 in Richmond, Virginia, and from the start, performing seemed to be in her blood. Her father had always dreamed of joining the circus, and her mother was a passionate drama teacher. Her parents named her after the famous actress Shirley Temple. But Shirley wasn't the only star in her family. When she was just 3 years old, her younger brother Warren was born, and the two shared a strong bond. They were inseparable, often acting more like allies than siblings, though deep down Shirley admits they both quietly competed for their parents' attention. During her senior year of high school, Shirley decided to pursue her dream of performing on Broadway. Her timing couldn't have been better, as she was cast as a chorus girl in Oklahoma. It was then that she realized acting was her true passion. After graduating, there was no question in her mind about her future path. In 1954, fortune smiled on her when the lead actress in The Pajama Game injured her ankle, and Shirley, as the understudy, stepped into the role. In an instant, she was thrust into the spotlight, and as luck would have it, a film producer named Hal B. Wallace happened to be in the audience that night. He was so impressed with her performance that he offered her a 5-year contract with Paramount Pictures. Shirley made her big-screen debut in Alfred Hitchcock's The Trouble with Harry. Although the film didn't become a major hit, Shirley certainly did. She earned her first Golden Globe for New Star of the Year and quickly became a rising star in Hollywood. Her professional life took an unexpected twist when she began spending time with Hitchcock. The two would often dine together at new restaurants, and Shirley, in her youthful starstruck state, enjoyed his company. However, she never anticipated that her newfound friendship would lead to criticism. After gaining 25 pounds from their dinners together, Shirley received a call from the head of Paramount. He sternly informed her that if she didn't lose the weight, they would have to terminate her contract. This harsh demand was a stark reminder of the pressures of Hollywood. Despite the challenges, Shirley's talent shone through. She earned her first Academy Award and Golden Globe nomination for Best Actress in Some Came Running in 1958, a recognition that marked the beginning of a long and successful career. Not long after Shirley made her mark in Hollywood, her brother Warren followed her to Tinseltown, and the Beatty family's legacy continued to grow. Warren was determined not to ride on his sister's coattails, which is why he decided to adopt a surname she wasn't using. He even added an extra T to make it more distinct. His goal was clear. He didn't want anyone to know that Shirley MacLaine was his sister, but there may have been another, deeper reason for his secrecy. When a reporter once referred to him as Shirley MacLaine's brother, he became furious. He demanded that the world recognize MacLaine as his sister, not the other way around. This public outburst was more than just a demand. It was a blow to their relationship. Shirley, deeply hurt by his actions, refused to speak of it again, and more significantly, cut off communication with him. That moment marked the start of a cold, silent war between the MacLaine siblings. MacLaine openly acknowledges the challenges she and her brother have faced. Despite the ups and downs, she describes him as the person she's known the longest, loved the longest, and always will. While the siblings never collaborated professionally, she never thought they'd make a good team. She often worried about him, especially before he found stability and married. There's no question that MacLaine thrived in her career, but the question remains, Did her personal life turn out just as successful? On the surface, it certainly seems so. At just 18 years old, while performing in the chorus on stage, she saw a businessman, Steve Parker, enter the room. In that instant, she felt a shift in her world, knowing her life was about to change forever. The couple married in 1954, and to the outside world they appeared blissfully happy. She referred to him as her companion, counselor, and even the love of her life. But deep down, she had her unique perspective on love and marriage. Despite her affection for Parker, she couldn't embrace the idea of traditional monogamy. "I could never live a life where I felt bound by a promise simply because I was caught up in the rush of love," she once said. Together, they chose to live in an open marriage, one that lasted for 28 years. But was everything as perfect as it seemed? One day, MacLaine stumbled upon a shocking discovery. Her husband had been transferring large sums of money into his girlfriend's account, money that rightfully belonged to her. Despite the overwhelming betrayal, she chose to give him the benefit of the doubt. She reluctantly admitted that he should have consulted her first before using her funds, but she excused his actions, believing he had good intentions with his investments. Unfortunately, all of his projects fell through, and MacLaine later realized it was a blessing she found out when she did, before he could drain her entirely. In 1956, MacLaine's life took a profound turn when she became a mother. She and her partner joyously welcomed their daughter, Stephanie Sachiko Parker, into the world, their hearts swelling with happiness at her arrival. However, this blissful euphoria was short-lived. Raising a child proved to be more demanding than MacLaine anticipated, and soon she made an unexpected choice. When Stephanie was just 6 years old, MacLaine and her partner made the bold decision to move to Japan, believing Hollywood wasn't the right environment to raise a child. Despite her well-meaning intentions, MacLaine's plan to balance motherhood and career had its flaws. She maintained that she was a hands-on mother for the time, but reality soon caught up. Faced with the harsh reality of her situation, MacLaine had to make a heart-wrenching choice to continue her career. She couldn't stay in Japan, so she left her daughter and her partner behind, returning to Hollywood alone. From that moment on, her time with Stephanie was limited to holidays, a painful divide that strained their bond forever. Shirley MacLaine stepped into the role of Irma in Irma la Douce, following the tragic death of Marilyn Monroe. Surprisingly, she wasn't particularly fond of the film and found it odd when the Academy nominated her for her performance. But she had earned it, considering the extraordinary lengths she went to in preparation. To bring the character of Irma, a Parisian worker, to life, Shirley traveled to Paris. There she met with real workers who eagerly shared their stories, and they insisted she watch them with a customer. Initially hesitant, Shirley eventually agreed and watched through a tiny window, immersing herself fully in the experience, all in the name of authenticity. MacLaine's journey in Hollywood wasn't without its challenges, especially with the man who gave her big break, Hal B. Wallace. He may have thought that introducing her to the industry meant he had some sort of control over her, but he quickly learned that he was mistaken. When he tried to force himself on her, Shirley slapped him hard, making it clear that she would not tolerate such behavior. The next day, Wallace attempted to buy her silence by gifting her a sports car, but she wasn't easily swayed. His misconduct didn't end there. He violated the terms of her contract, but Shirley wasn't one to back down. In a bold move, she took legal action, suing him and winning. This victory marked the beginning of the end for the old Hollywood star system, with Shirley leading the charge for change. Shirley MacLaine made headlines when she sued 20th Century Fox for breach of contract after they promised her a film remake of a play and then backed out. Her case made its way to the Supreme Court, where she emerged victorious. The case was so significant that it became a textbook example of employment contract law. It was clear to her employers that MacLaine was not someone to be taken lightly. When it came to romance, Shirley had a particular type: dangerous, complicated men. She reveled in the challenge of figuring them out, and Robert Mitchum was no exception. Their affair was almost like a dream come true for her, especially since, as a teenager, she had had a massive crush on him. MacLaine never worried about her reputation, even when it meant flying around the world with Danny Kaye in search of good food. Her romantic interests stretched beyond Hollywood, too. She befriended several powerful men in politics, including Swedish Prime Minister Olof Palme, Canadian Prime Minister Pierre Trudeau, and Australian Foreign Minister Andrew Peacock. She managed to maintain colorful relationships with each of them, undeterred by their political status. Her career continued to soar, and after several Oscar nominations, she finally won the Academy Award for Best Actress for her role in Terms of Endearment. The film was a massive hit, and her performance garnered widespread praise. However, the story behind the scenes mirrored the tumultuous nature of her on-screen character. MacLaine famously had a rocky relationship with her co-star, Deborah Winger. The tension was so palpable that Winger made her feelings known unusually by loudly farting in MacLaine's direction. But Winger wasn't the only difficult co-star MacLaine had to contend with. She also clashed with Anthony Hopkins during their time on A Change of Seasons. Hopkins called her the most obnoxious woman he had ever worked with, describing her as overbearing and annoying. MacLaine's response was simple: "I don't like him either." Unsurprisingly, they never worked together again. But MacLaine was anything but lazy. Throughout her career, she worked in over 60 films, appeared in numerous television shows, graced Broadway stages, and even authored 12 books. Many of her works delve into her deep interest in reincarnation and metaphysics. Her spiritual beliefs are far from conventional. She firmly believes in the idea of multiple lifetimes, with souls reappearing in different times and forms. MacLaine has even claimed to have lived in Atlantis, as well as in several other past lives, including as a girl in Turkey, a Muslim gypsy in Morocco, and an entertainer in Israel. Despite the spiritual focus of her books, her current life is no less dramatic, filled with enough intrigue and controversy to keep her story captivating to this day. Shirley MacLaine's dazzling acting career came at a great cost to her personal life, leaving her daughter Sachiko Parker yearning for a mother she could only see on the big screen. In 1981, Sachi returned to the United States, hopeful to reconnect with her mother and pursue her own dream of acting. However, their reunion was far from the warm embrace one might imagine. In her candid memoir, Lucky Me, My Life With and Without My Mom, Shirley MacLaine, Sachi revealed the painful truth about their fractured relationship. She recounted moments of neglect, including one Christmas during her high school years in Europe, when both her mother and father forgot about her entirely. Beyond the emotional distance, Sachi disclosed that MacLaine never provided her with financial support, forcing her to take on multiple jobs such as working as a ski instructor, waitress, and au pair just to make ends meet. Sachi also accused her mother of deliberately hindering her acting aspirations. However, MacLaine dismissed her daughter's claims, labeling the memoir as a dishonest, opportunistic attack by a child she had only ever wanted the best for and loved deeply. Despite the controversies, Shirley MacLaine remains an icon, bold, immensely talented, and unapologetically true to herself. Her legacy as a living legend endures, even as her personal life remains a topic of intrigue and debate. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more captivating stories.